Welcome to this edition of Prophecy News Update. I'm Tom Gilbreath. This week I was prepared to present a program showing how the COVID-19 virus and humanity's response to it has become a major transformative event for planet Earth, changing our world into the world of Antichrist and tribulation. It's a crucial topic because it shows that we are deep into the prophetic timeline and Jesus is coming soon. I hope to do that program maybe as soon as next week. But this week, I think we need to stop and look at another aspect of Bible prophecy, something wonderful. On Saturday, I received an email from a friend in Lubbock, Texas. He was prepared to hold his Sunday school class by means of a conference call. Their topic was Psalm 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God." Busyness, the tyranny of the urgent, the unrelenting grip of a myopic and self-induced stress can easily control our lives. But for more than 1.5 billion people on planet Earth right now, most busyness has come to a screeching halt. State after state and nation after nation have shut down. In some jobs, people can telecommute, but the internet is having a tough time withstanding the strain. It's so bad in Europe that Amazon, Apple, Facebook, YouTube, Netflix, and Instagram are all throttling down their internet streams. There is talk of doing the same thing elsewhere, including the United States. That's emblematic of what's happening in people's lives. We're being throttled down, forced to stay home, to slow down, to be still. In the long run, it is economically unsustainable. That goes back to Genesis 3:17, where God said to Adam, "In toil you shall eat." Remember your mom or dad saying money doesn't grow on trees? Even if your livelihood comes from fruit that does grow on trees, it's not like the Garden of Eden. Our orchards require work and toil and care. Food comes from labor. Wealth comes from labor. Eventually, people will get back to work. The present timeout will cease. It has to. But in the meantime, maybe we should see it as just that, a timeout. The Center for Effective Parenting defines a timeout as a discipline technique that involves placing children in a very boring place for several minutes following unacceptable behaviors. It's not meant to harm the child, but to give the child pause for reflection. Maybe God has placed us in a timeout, and that's not a bad thing. Last week, I read a long list of headlines, most with profound implications for the lives of human beings on planet Earth. Since then, the headlines have grown even more dire. For instance, Governor Cuomo of New York now says that the present crisis might last 9 months. He believes as many as 80% of his state's huge population may become infected. 80%. Hospitals are trying to figure out how to ration ventilators. The president of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, James Bullard, predicts that U.S. unemployment may hit 30%. That's just weeks after we experienced record high levels of employment. A doctor in Italy says that his country can no longer waste respirators on people over 60. That's not official policy because it would make officials seem cruel and hard-hearted, but according to this doctor and others, it is standard practice in Italy right now. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Save the life of the younger person. These are the kinds of cruel choices that happen when a single disease overwhelms a healthcare system. But in the midst of all this, spring is breaking. Have you noticed? Resurrection Sunday is just around the corner. It reminds me of the second chapter of the Song of Solomon. "Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth her green figs, and the vines with the tender grapes give a good smell. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away." That's a picture of Christ coming for his church at the rapture. Rise up and come away. It's also a picture of something that happens repeatedly in our lives. We face pain and struggle, sickness and trial. But at some point, every winter ends. The birds sing, flowers put out their sweet aromas. That time will come again. We may wring our hands and say, "Oh no," at every piece of bad news. But God says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." We're always on the edge of the unknown. Patterns of events from the past give us a sense that life is routine and we know what's coming, but we don't. Not really. We never do. Bible believers have a broad outline of future events, but the Bible doesn't say specifically what will happen to you tomorrow or the next minute or second or millisecond. We don't know what stocks will be up tomorrow or next year, but we do know some things about tomorrow and next year, and those things are deeply reassuring. For instance, we know that nothing in the future will catch God by surprise. Part of his care for each of us is his eternal presence behind and before us. Deuteronomy 31:8 says, "The Lord is the one who goes ahead of you." You don't know everything that will happen tomorrow, but you know the one who goes before you, and he's already working out the events of tomorrow for your good. Romans 8:28 begins, "All things work together for good." There's a broadcast TV show on the air right now that quotes this verse a lot, and they always stop right there. But the Bible adds an important caveat. It says, "All things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose." If you love God and are called according to his purpose, he's working things out for your future right now. In Malachi 3:6, God says, "I am the Lord, I change not. Tomorrow and forever he will remain, and he will be reliable. His word, his integrity will remain reliable, and so will his love." 1 John 4:8 says, "God is love." Together, those two verses tell us that the God who is love does not change. When theologians talk about him not changing, they use the term immutable. God is immutable. In light of his love and his immutability, let's look at all of Deuteronomy 31:8. The Lord is the one who goes ahead of you. He will be with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. If your reliance is on the stock market, this is a scary time. But if you are a follower of Jesus, your reliance is not on the stock market. When I talk about God not changing or about his love, an astute Bible student might recognize it not as prophecy, but as a look at some of the attributes of God. Here's the deal. God's attributes are the highest order of prophecy. He does not change. He does not lie. He is the God of love. The world changes, but he does not. He is everlasting. He is all-powerful and all-knowing. He is holy and just. To walk in him means having your future assured, not because you're a good person, but because he remains reliable. He keeps his word, not just in the distant future, but in the next second and the next day and forever. The great songwriter Ira Stanfield put all this into words that we can easily understand, yet spend a lifetime comprehending. Many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. And that's prophecy. If you watch this on YouTube, please consider subscribing to Prophecy News Update. God willing, I'll see you soon.